Ciao a tutti e benvenuti al Tavolo Italiano. Questa lezione è why do they say that? To, ora, adesso, ed ormai. Few footnotes before we start. This is the second of a series of mini videos designed to fine-tune your Italian. I assume that you have watched the first video in the series. Why do they say that one? Tuttavia, ma e però. If not, I recommend watching that lesson first to get the best understanding possible of this video series. Second, this lesson assumes that you are moving out of the basic levels of Italian, meaning you have a basic knowledge of verb conjugation, basic vocabulary, and grammar. In short, you can get by with the Italian you already know. If this is not you or not the case, I would encourage you to check out the beginner classes first at iltavoloitaliano.com. Pronti? Okay, then let's get started. I significati. Let's start by looking at the definitions of each of these words. I searched the internet for each and included words from various sites that translate these words into English, so this is a compilation of information. Ora, at present, from henceforwards, from now on, hour, just now, or now. Adesso, ora or now, poco fa, just now, fra poco, any moment now. Ormai, from the Italian ora plus mai, by now, by this time, now, at this point, excuse me, by then already, yet, nearly, almost, by now, a questo punto, now, by now. Two things to note here. The general consensus, both online and among the Italians I know, as you'll see on the next page, is that ora and adesso are in fact totally interchangeable, and it is really totally a matter of style and choice. Some thought it odd that a language would retain two words with near exact definitions, but given the regional history that Italy has, it actually is easy to accept and understand, meaning that there were many different dialects that covered the region that we now call the country of Italy. So some believe that ora came from the south and adesso came from the north. I did, however, find one difference in the two words, though, and that is that ora can also be used for the noun hour, whereas adesso cannot. L'uso. As I said, it appears when saying now that ora and adesso are indeed interchangeable. On Yahoo Answers, I found the following. Adesso and ora have the same meaning, that is, now, in this right moment. Sometimes also for the immediate future. For example, adesso vado dalla mamma e le dico cosa hai fatto. Now I'm going to tell mom what you've done. Adesso siamo pronti. Now we're ready. Vogliamo andare ora? Shall we go now? Remember that adesso and ora are interchangeable. Yahoo Answers. Now, here's what I found out from some of our Italian friends. First one being Christian, on our Facebook page for Il Tavolo Italiano. Adesso and ora mean the same thing. At least in Italy today, north is probably most widely used adesso, while in the south, ora. A note from Federica said, adesso and ora, as Christian said, mean the same thing. Now, time equals now at this moment. And then Flavio said, according to me, ora and adesso are almost the same. I do it ora, meaning I do it now. I do it adesso, meaning I do it now. It is the same. Flavio. These are the English translations of what they sent me. By the way, I'm not sure where Christian is from, but I know Federica is in Rome and Flavio is Milano, which I find interesting. Okay, il contrasto. Ormai, and this is, first we'll read what some of our Italian friends have sent in, either to me directly or to our Facebook page. Ormai means more or less the same thing, but it has a negative meaning. It's late now. Now it's late and you cannot do anything about it. That's from Christian. If we look at what Federica sent us, she says, ormai has a different meaning because it is used to emphasize something that has already happened. For example, when I arrived, the train had left already. Already in this phrase can be translated into the Italian as ormai. When arrived, the train was ormai, already gone. The closest word is already. I hope it is clear. Federica. And finally, Flavio says, instead, ormai is different. Or I would say by now already. It is in a negative sense. A typical phrase is, it is late to do one thing, to catch a plane, to arrive on time. Once again, that's Flavio. And once again, those are English translations of what they sent me. Okay, ho trovato, ormai. Ok, referito al presente, by now, by this time, a questo punto, now, ormai è tardi, it's late now. Ormai dovrebbe essere partito, he must have left by now. Ormai siamo arrivati, we're nearly or almost there. That came from reverso. Ormai siamo fritti. Now we've had it. By now. Came from word hippo. So, if you're like me, you're scratching your head right now and saying, so what do I do with all of this information about ormai? What does it mean and how do I use it? Well, I kind of felt like that at first as well. Il riassunto. Ormai. Let's break it down. It appears to usually, if not always, have a negative connotation. 1. 2. It can be translated into more than just now. For example, by now, already, by this time, nearly or almost, can all be translated potentially into ormai. And it appears to deal with being late in some fashion or another, or having to do with too much of something. Therefore, I would think for starters, anytime we say things in English like by now, or now, at this point, or already, etc., in a negative tone, emphatically, that it is a good chance that we could be accurately using ormai in these circumstances. Let's start using it here like this and learn as we always do, more as we proceed. Ora and adesso, on the other hand, are just two ways of saying now. Il riassunto. Now, once again, let's end this lesson with a look at some sentences and see if we agree on which word would seem a bit more appropriate. It is possible that there is more than one correct answer for some of these, so I am not saying my choice is right, although my selections for ormai should be considered strongly suggested. So after seeing the sentences, say which word out loud you would use in that phrase, just to see if we would agree. It's too late now. Ormai. I am quite happy with my progress now. Ora. Now I need to buy a present for Mother and I am done. Adesso. They should have been here by now. Ormai. At this point, it is useless sending the payment. Ormai. Now, let's go to dinner. adesso. Well, there we have it. We had a little less intro in this one than in the last one, so short and sweet, which is my intention for these lessons. Once again, we're not covering much. We're just talking about some words that appear to be synonymous to a certain degree and try to decide which word is a little more appropriate. Just a fine-tuning of our Italian. So, grazie mille per aver studiando con il tavoloitaliano.com. Remember, you can find more information, much more information on this topic and others, all for free, always, at iltavoloitaliano.com. I welcome you to be a part of our website. Enjoy it. Leave your feedback. Give us ideas. Also, feel free to search us out on Facebook. We are there and would very much love to see you there. So, ciao, grazie mille e ricordate, parli italiano.